And we're back with Grand Order. Alright. Feels like it's been a while. It's only been 2 days, but it's been a long couple days. We got an interlude campaign. I'm pretty sure I got at least one new interlude out of it. Busy. I couldn't even play Grand Order for half of the last 2 days. It was very frustrating. But we're back. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I need to farm a few materials on this account. Ages. Dragon Fangs. Both are in relatively short supply right now. As we want to put Caster Nero up there, and we're pretty low on pages. We have a couple other people who want like 10-ish each. So I think we're gonna go visit Hyde Park. Although I didn't get to spend the most amount of time playing. Due to unfortunate other obligations, I did manage to spend some of my AP. As you can see, I've already been in Hyde Park today. Alright, this is probably an overkill team, but bond points are bond points. I ran a couple runs of this, and my first run, I completely failed to kill, I think like the second wave or something like that. It was hella awkward. Anyway, we're just going for overkill power this time, you know, gonna do Arash, then Astolfo, then Ishtar. Should hopefully clear out this wave. You know, with waivers, double waiver, maybe it's a little bit overkill, but I'd rather not miss out on a 3-turn and spend like 4 or 5 turns on an easily 3-turnable node. Like, you know how that awkward that is when you're like, this was an easy 3-turn. Somehow manages to fail. Feels bad, man. Oh, we'll see how this goes. Alright. One of these days we will acquire a K-Scope. Or at least 2 more copies of Imaginary Elements, so we don't need to rely on Waiver for Arash's NP. That would be nice. Give us a little bit more flexibility. But on the other hand, you know, it's not the worst for... We're gonna actually use one of his cards, we may as well use that, right? Even if it's level 1. It does give us a lot more flexibility, although, you know, there's a couple waves where you actually need the waiver buff on a Rash, or a Grail on a Rash to actually kill the wave, so... Not the worst. Anyway. The last 2 days have been kind of hectic. Didn't get too much done. I guess I started my rewatch of Madoka. Since I think I've seen it before, but it's one of those things where you're like, I've seen this before, but you can only vaguely remember how a few of the scenes went. Like, when I was watching the first episode, I was like, I saw Mammy doing her like a whole gun shtick where she throws the ball on the ground around her and just pulls and fires. I was like, oh, I was imagining that like just the other day, but I couldn't recall what it was from, whether it was like an anime or a video game or like even like a live action movie. I had no clue where it was from. I was like, I know I've seen this before. When I saw like the pizza guy, I was like, oh shit, it's from this anime. I recognize this stuff, and then I kind of like guessed all the choreography. It's one of those things where you're like, you've seen it, but you also haven't seen it before. Because it's been so long that you can remember the plot, but you're struggling with like most other things. Oh well. If you haven't seen Madoka, it's pretty freaking good. Anyway, so I got like a third of the way through that. Watching it with a friend. Our goal is to watch all 3 movies because we haven't seen any of the movies, and we're like, well, we haven't really seen the series in a long time, so we may as well start with the series and see where we go from there. He's the same guy that I've been watching a whole bunch of the... I've been watching a whole bunch of Makoto Shinkai movies with him. He's pretty cool. speaking of Makoto speaking of Shinkai movies, since we finished our Shinkai movie viewing, where we moved on to Madoka, which we'll be doing. We're currently waiting for Heaven's Feel 3. That's how we got this started. We were watching movies. I think the first two movies we watched were the first Heaven's Feel movies, beginning of this year. So we're both really looking forward to that third one. I'm definitely gonna buy a copy of the DVD, even if I can like get it online or something. I'd really like to see it and have a legitimate copy. Unfortunately, Japan seems to really hate, you know, giving people in North America literally anything, so that's gonna be a long ass wait because we don't even get it in theaters. Sucks. Oh well. Yeah, I ended up rewatching Tenki no Ko because my guest hasn't seen it. I was like, shit, well, if you haven't seen it, you may as well watch this. Because I know a couple of my guests aren't like huge fans of shonen. Or anime in general, so you can't like just throw like the middle of a series at them and expect them to be interested, or like tell them, oh, this is airing this season. You gotta give them really good stuff, or they just tune out. Heck, they might tune out anyway because they're really bad at paying attention sometimes. Like, there's always that one person in a group. There's always that one chick in a group who's like always on their phone in the movie, and then it's like, why do people care? Why are all these people suddenly so sad? What just happened? And you're like, well, you see, if you'd been paying attention for like 2 seconds, you would have noticed that someone just got decapitated. Hey, how's it going, Shadow? I was ranting about, you know, those common movie viewing. When you like watch shows with a group of people, there's always one person who just doesn't pay attention. Oh, your second 5-star Berserker. Very nice, very nice. So who'd you get? Oh, Ishtar, we forgot your about. Oh, that's a good series of roll. Oh, you got the. Oh, you roll. That makes sense to roll in the cool altar banner. Okay, okay. I don't know who I expected, considering he's on right up. I mean, that's a good pick for Berserkers. Basically, like the 5-star version of Herc. And, like every single one of his skills is defensive because he's also got that crit down too, right? Is it 2 days? Ouch. That'd be good. Looking forward to that. I should probably swap to Fangs on this account then. I'm doing pages because I know I need pages on a couple people. But Nero does not require pages. Also, that's like 130,000 crit. Mild overkill. You managed to pull up Coup Altar and another 5-star Archer. Just 5, you know. 4 would be ridiculous. Or 6 would be ridiculous. 5's good though, right? Aw. 90? Well, you're almost there. It's an 80, so you need like a couple hundred? At least he gives Saint Quartz when you get him past Bond 5, right? And he has several other strengthenings or interludes he has Because rake ups you can get a decent bit of Saint Quartz out of. You could probably put him on the back burner, but you may as well level him up at some point for that Saint Quartz. It's usually why you don't want to throw away your XP until you're basically out of materials. I actually have to look up what the node for Dragon Fangs is. Oh, I think this website has Dragon Fangs fastest. I was doing the Hyde Park node this morning, and I failed to 3-turn the node, so the double waiver was just like, no, we're not screwing this up. Ah, okay, apparently Deming America. Where the heck is that? Near Chicago. Alright. Wyverns. Ew. That's gonna be hard to 3-turn. Alright. America, land of dragons. Alright. New Chicago. Well, at least I know where Chicago is. Huh? Wait, is this one of those ones you have to unlock? Apparently this is Chicago now. Alright. Yes, that's also true. But you probably won't be putting those on Arjuna. Not for a long time. I think they cost rare. Do Bond Grails cost rare prisms? I know they're hard to get a hold of. Yeah. It was like, I looked up the node, and it's like New Chicago, and I'm like, okay. So I went to Chicago. I'm like, huh, it seems a little bit barren. Yeah, you're right. It's like El Paso. It's like way west of Dallas, because they actually have Dallas here. Although I also thought Dallas was a little... Oh, well. I don't know the precise locations of a lot of cities in the States. I know Detroit really well. I've been to Detroit several times. Alright. Assassin. Do we have an AoE assassin who has starting gauge on them? That would be nice. Science point to know. Jean and Artoria Archer. Yeah, I would stick with... Yeah, Gil is a really good all-rounder. Jean is really good for arts loops as well. Artoria is good for single target. Yeah, those are probably higher priority. People with level 50. Alright, I'll take it. I know I have someone on this list. Okay, what's the damage numbers I need to pull out for second turn? 24,000? We could probably just do this instead then. We probably just do Semiramis on one of these. 24,000 isn't actually that hard to do damage numbers wise. Samosa? Oh, did you just finish Samosa? Or Shamosa? Words. $120.30? That will do. This is less clean than it could be. She needs the damage though. Just have Salem. Alright. Salem's a little bit easier, but it's still pretty good. I probably could have just taken another waiver instead of this. This doesn't make it awkward to do it twice because now I actually need her. I think a Stalbo can pull off like 24k neutral damage, no problem. Yeah, I like it in concept. In execution, it's like not as amazing, but it's fun in general. When you're like, it's frustrating if you're like struggling on the boss battles because you can't bring supports and you're forced to bring the Musashi. But otherwise, it's really good, right? It's like, if you read the manga, it's just Masashi versus all those people, right? Well, maybe you and Masashi, but that's basically just Masashi carrying you, and you throwing out like a command seal once after like, once every like 3 fights. One of the things I liked about that is it gives you a nice soft introduction to like the concept of the alternate timelines, because you get to hang out with Masashi, who's very clearly from possibly a Lost Belt or just another terminated realm, a terminated timeline. They're not like completely caught off guard when they're like surprised the entire plot of the next season is about this. Doesn't even matter. Shimosa's also like the most plot relevant, right? Yeah, Masashi also shows up, so it's like when she shows up in, well, even when she shows up in Shimosa, you're supposed to know her already, which is kind of weird because there's no yeah. Masashi also shows up in the first one. Yeah. But like, the first time you see Masashi is ostensibly in Shimosa or an event, I think. I kind of wish they didn't make it an event that ended, because it's kind of weird when you're like, oh, it's Masashi, how's it going? And you've already been talking about her. No, other than that, it's all good. Lost Belt 5. I'll eventually get to Lost Belt 5. When I run out of AP on this account, I'm gonna go play on Japan, and I'm pretty sure that... Well, I'm like 90% certain that I've, the Christmas event ended, so we're gonna be doing story for a little bit. Lost Belt 5. I haven't done that yet. The story looks exciting, but I can't read Japanese, so all I have is pretty pictures and big numbers of bosses. Well, the good news is you're just set for those. You're just set for Lancer and Saber bosses. Try to stay positive. Oh, we're 3 over. We can actually use this without penalizing ourselves. Alright. Can she kill someone today? We'll find out. Yeah. My classes are a little bit stacked too. But that's just how it is, you know, if you have a smallish sample size like you do when you're rolling. Isekai. M. Isekai? Mordred and Sigurd. That's a good team. I wonder how they'd get along. Let's just run... What's it called? I'm not even using the servant, so anything will do. There we go. Yeah. I have a couple AoE sabers, though I'd kind of like Mordred, because I'd like a second AoE saber with a battery. Altera is great, but she doesn't have a battery, and that makes her a little bit harder to use for wave clear, because she's got to like land some weird arts combos. I don't think I actually need to do any NP generation here for any of the characters, because I don't need stars, but whatever. Most of the sabers in the general pool are AoE sabers. So if you're getting random AoE sabers, you're gonna get them. It's just how they decided to make things. They also decided to put like no sabers in the free-to-play pool except for Gilles and Caesar. Don't necessarily agree with that choice on their part either, but well, we'll live. Yeah, they just added Sigurd with Lost Belt too. Before then, good luck getting an AoE Saber. Wait for raid up. Or go for Caesar. Caesar's disgusting. Or at least on JP. I actually gotta borrow someone's Caesar. Not anything crazy, just like a level 70 NP5, you know, 666 Caesar. That guy was disgusting. He just pulls out like 250,000 health under like his Charisma C. And you're just like, alright, that was easy. Like, you can't even comment, it's just a ridiculous amount of damage. Like, I feel like you could just Grail Caesar and he's basically a 5-star saber. He just needs like an evade or something and he's fine. Delicious attack stats. Delicious attack stats. I mean, if you're like a wave clearing servant, you basically don't even care about your health numbers, right? Apart from like the occasional lottery or something where you're like just under the threshold to kill everything all the time. Lost but $800. Yeah, that's definitely noticeable. Although since Sigurd's like single target, he's kind of aiming at a different market, right? Like bosses. Most of the time, bosses these days don't go down in one hit. So I can kind of sympathize with having lower attack stats on boss killers. Like, not terribly low. Oh yeah, 13 levels. I mean, depending on your curve, 13 levels could be 1300 attack. I think Sigurd has low attack for a 5-star anyway, though. That's like one of the downsides people usually note about him is that he doesn't do a ridiculous amount of damage. We're not getting 50 stars, that's unfortunate. Kinda wanted a quick combo there. Oh well. Of course. He's like a level 90 still has level 90 stats for the most part. There aren't really any level 90s that have that bad stats that you'd like grail them to be useful, especially because at level 90 a grail is only 2 levels. It's always better to do like a level 80 to 85 grail. I wouldn't worry about his damage too much. Ew. We may not kill this here. Grail Kiara. Grailed Kiara. Yeah, she's good. Grailing a Kiara. I'm tempted to just grail my Penthacile once I put her to 10-10-10. I feel like it's an inevitability because I want to do it. I'm just not doing it because it's not an amazing idea, but I still want to like finish her off before most of my other servants, so we might do that. But of course, the first grails I get are all going to Nira. All going to Nira. She needs to be level 90 at least. Be on par with her caster self. Right? We We don't disrespect the alternative versions of our servants here. Not in my Calde. Alter ego? Close enough. I think Kiara works well enough. She definitely has the, doesn't matter, just stop. She definitely has the bonus damage. It's not as high as anyone else, but like, assassins are at 0.9 damage, right? And she's at like flat, so it's not as far apart as you think it is between an assassin and an alter ego. I need to level a second AoE assassin. I mean, Astolfo's a really good assassin, but not in that way. He gives a lot of people a rude shock, but not in that, yeah, not that way. All right. I like Camilla. I got a copy or I randomly got a copy of Carmilla when I was rolling a while back. I've enjoyed her. I got to use her during the summer event. She did a pretty good job there. I don't have any objections to how she performed. Anti-female gave her really good NP damage even when she was under leveled and without upgrades or attack buffs, so she's good in my books. Probably the best 4-star assassin you can get in the general pool, really. You're a year out from a Saber Astolfo. You get a year to get Sigurd to bond 10 or whatever, and then you have an excuse. You're like, oh, I need to level up Saber Astolfo's bond. Can't be, sorry, I can't take you, man. That's always a good excuse. Unless it's like waiver, you can always make that excuse, right? I don't have a good excuse to take waiver off the team. It's like, oh, he's core to all my teams. Well, I guess he's staying in there. Oh, you'll get there. You'll get there. A little bit harder with non-supports, but they get there. They get there. Non-supports, especially ones that are at 16. But that costs like 16, so it's hard to fit them in the back line. They'll get there. Just keep using the bonus bond CEs. You can borrow them from friends on your support caster list. That's what supports I keep taking have. I forget what the name of that CE is. Do you have all the materials you need for Fran? Because I sure as hell don't have the materials I need for Nero, at least. That's why we're farming Fangs. And failing for the most part. You need to have all this material. I mean, you don't need to have it, but it saves you a bit of effort farming them up later. You can be one of those people who's just like, ah, new servant, instantly 90, 10, 10, 10, or whatever. And you can immediately put them up without feeling bad. He's like, whenever I get a new shiny servant, I'm just like, oh, I wanna show this one off, but I don't know, putting like a level 50 or something in place of a level 90 with like 777 feels a little bit weird. I'm gonna think of it. It's almost pretty hard to replace in a team too, because he's got a 50% battery. Oh wait, these are like... Wait, these are dragons. I should just put Nitocris in here. She's way better. Oh, whatever. Astolfo's doing the job fine. We could run Nidochris and we could free up a CE or something, but that's about it. I think my Nidochris is only at 7, because she needs pages. What a coincidence, needing pages. I am in constant need of pages. There was this nice moment a while back where I didn't need a million pages. It was wonderful. In fact, I had like 50 pages and thought I'd basically never run out. And yet there I was, yesterday, going, oh, I need pages. I have guests over, so I can't just sit here and farm for 30 minutes. I have to do things like play games and interact with the people I'm hosting at my own house. Horrifying thought, isn't it? Yeah, it's this C, right? All day at lunchtime. I wasn't sure if it was lunchtime or tea time. I didn't want to screw those up. 10% is 10% though. It adds up. It makes up for the fact that I'm running Waver, who's already max bond. Still. 30 Saint Quartz for maxing out a Bond Grail. That's pretty good. I don't love Waver that much, but I mean, he's on the team all the time. He may as well get something out of it, considering he's already maxed out. Gold foes aren't really my thing. Just bones. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. The bone node just takes a while. It is kind of nice farming bones when you want to do something though, because like if you want to farm like 40 AP nodes and you don't want to spend like a shit ton of apples, it's like, well, I played 10 minutes, I guess I'll go do something else then. Bones, at least you have something to do for a while. We should probably use the Shuffle's damage bonus. I think he's okay without it, but what damage is Shuffle? I need stars for next turn so I can like reliably kill these guys. Don't give me any of that bullshit, Astolfo. I need quick chains. Thank God we aren't farming chains though. Chains node. I mean, I have my own Nidochris, so it's not as painful now. But I think I've done like at least 100, maybe 200 runs of the chains node in Camelot. I don't want to see that place ever again. I mean, I'll see it sooner or later, but for now, I'm just grateful I don't have to see it for the next bit. Just for Ascensions isn't too bad either. There's only like a few required for Ascension materials. What is the drop rate on these? Like 1 AP per drop, 27? Okay. Frankenstein. How many bones does Frankenstein eat up? 24, that's actually quite a few. And then 36 in per skill. 24 for the Ascension isn't too bad though. It's a lot, but at least it's like a bronze material, so you probably have a bunch of them anyway. 24 is not too bad. It's irritating, but it's not the worst. I need a bunch of materials for Nero. Hopefully we'll have enough when we get there. In fact, that's what I should do right now. Nero. Claudius. It's like my room material, I think, to see stuff. I believe you can see your materials somewhere in here. Item list. Let's have a look. What do we need for Nero? a bunch of well, we don't need the apples and shit. Alright, we're gonna need like 40-ish gems, I think. Good on those, good on those. Also good on secret gems, okay. Octuplets. Octuplet crystals in total, we need 42, we're good on those. We're good on the monuments and pieces. We need fucking feathers, holy shit, man. We need more feathers, we're good on lanterns. What about gears? Ooh, we need gear. We need 15 gears, that's not great. Ooh, yeah, we still need fangs. Dragon fangs are the worst though. We need 144 dragon fangs. We're just a little bit shy. Let's see, the gears and the fangs are like skill 8 and the gears are skill 9, so we can do those in the fangs last. We might actually do feathers first, just because the feathers are for ascension and for skill 5 to 6. Skill 5s and 6, which is kind of awkward if you can't make those. It doesn't really matter if you have the dragon fangs. Oh well. Yeah. Like, we need 100 dragon fangs. That's a lot of fangs. We're going to be at that node for a while, probably like half this week. But first, we need like 11 feathers. That's not too bad. So, yeah, it's 40 feathers total. We need 11 feathers and probably a few spare, because like Mash still needs 5. That's not too bad. Alright. Well, we know what we need. Mostly fangs. Mostly feathers first, then gears and fangs. Mostly gears, because like, if we get like a random event that gives 20 gears, I'm not going to mind that too much. But I mean, we still need it soon. We just know, unless we spend a lot of apples, we're probably not getting it ready for this week. I've never heard of that. I haven't heard that event line before. Here we go. Tori no Ichi. Never heard of Tori no Ichi. Apparently it's a Japanese festival. Cool. I learned something new. Apart from the fact that I needed a lot of materials for Nero, which is making me very sad. We'll get there eventually. All the materials. We got our first 10-10-10 saber. We can wait a minute on our second one. After all, we have servants that we don't even have classes that are all classes 10-10-10. We just have, yeah, 10-10-10 on you. She still wants fangs, right? God damn it. Everyone wants their hands on my fangs. I thought we'd be good for a bit because we got a bunch from that last event, but it seems that was not to be. Right. I will be right back in 2 seconds. I'm just going to swap over to JP. Stay right there. Here's hoping we don't have an irritating patch because the event ended. It should be over, right? Like, it probably just ended today. I think there was 3 days left the other day. Is that 3 hours? There's no way that's not 3 days. This is like 3 hours or 3 minutes. One of them. What does 3 minutes look like in Japanese? Time to look it up. It's 3 hours. Sanjika. Okay. So it should be over. It's actually over in 3 hours, so guess what we're doing? I was thinking it would be over because they're like 13 hours ahead of me. But apparently not. Because I knew it ended today. Yeah, we're doing more farming, hell yeah. Wait, we haven't done this saber node before. I mean, it's 100 mana prisms. I can't really say no to 100 mana prisms. Alright, archers that aren't fighting oh, there we go. I was gonna say, finding a 3-star archer is gonna be a huge pain, but that wasn't too hard. Okay. Give me my Uriel. I may as well try and clear this one because it's hopefully easy. No wait, you're the quick and 30% NP charge. We want this one. Do we have another archer? I don't think we have another archer. Right. All 3 stars, check. Well, plus Hans. Alright. Does Archer Florence still throw beds? Not in her animations, I'm afraid. It's only needles filled with some kind of drug fired from her machine gun and grenades. They're pill-shaped grenades, but no beds. Only bullets. And floating around like Mary Poppins. Alright, let's see if we can somehow manage to pull out a win in this fight. I am somewhat dubious about our chances. Yeah, throwing beds, that's like her best animation. Like, the combat grenade? No. The part where she just randomly like pulls a... And it's you know it's one of those hospital beds too, right? It's not even like a random bed. It's like very clearly one of those like old military hospital beds that she throws at people. Yeah, I love that animation too. I did not appreciate her a lot in E-Plurb, but I like her a lot more now. I can kind of appreciate what... Ah, yes, giant cocks. Alright. I don't know what I expected. We've seen these before. They're in Summer 3, right? We can't use this guy's NP, so we may as well use this now. Right, that's how much damage a 3-star does with the Brave Chick. It's like, alright, we don't have attack buffs or anything crazy like that. Alright. They did a good job with Florence's animations though, even though she doesn't have the bed throwing thing. Like, the Noble Phantasm where she like floats in like Mary Poppins and hoses things with bullets looks great. All her attack animations hit a whole bunch, and they sound like they should hit a whole bunch because she's like spraying people with a machine gun or hitting them with shrapnel. It's really cool. Wow, we totally whiffed on all our buffs there. Alright. This is just the first node and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna lose someone. These may as well all be serpents. They're terrifying. They're all equally terrifying. Rip Hans, I guess. Oh well, we have the heals. This is still gonna hurt a lot. Lubu's good. I'm gonna do this just so I can safely put his defense up. Because the arrow down on Lubu's second attack stops him from doing fun things like buffing himself. Well, that crit was on definitely the wrong target. Alright. Oh dear. I'll take that. That actually has terrible odds of happening on rank 2. But alright. I'll take it. No complaints. Uriel pulling out all the stops on damage. Hans's crit buff is only level 1, so it's like 20%. That was a good damage. Very good damage. And holy shit. Alright. Uphill battle, people. Uphill battle. It's gonna be an uphill battle. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, at least we kept the NP charge. That wasn't like the worst thing for us. It still sucks though. Doing all this with underload 3 stars is quite the pain. What the heck is pinging me? Oh my god. The worst thing about following VTubers, I'd have to turn off all my YouTube notifications because they keep getting notifications about streaming on YouTube. I know, first world problems, right? It's like, oh my goodness, there's too many people doing things, I just can't keep up with it all. I should have used, whatever. 48k is not bad. It's no Caesar damage, but it's not bad. That was with 2 attack downs. I'm not loving my odds here. Oh, Archer Brave Chain's help. Come on. Is it just me or does he sound really loud, animation wise? Stop draining Uriel's NP. I need it. I need it. Okay, well, we're gonna get this. I'm not gonna Brave Chain with him because this has no secondary effect, right? It's just NP gain? Yeah, we don't need that. Alright. The poison. Unfortunate. We might still get this, depending on what we're Alright, this node's gonna be interesting. Yeah, alright. Oh. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so that wasn't a good start. I kind of have to evade. Oh, nice. You got all the bones you needed in just a few. You must have been off by like 1 or 2. That's pretty good. Okay. What do? We know she's immune to charm. Or at least like Uriel's charm because it only hits man. Alright. Yeah. Oh, that's not too bad. 3 is very achievable. I'm actually going to evade with you. Alright. May as well do this for the damage before we're dead, right? 30k, that is. We got a ways to go to kill this. Just keep hitting that one. No, hit the assassin. Yeah. It doesn't take reduced damage, so while it's evading, keep targeting it. I'm encouraging the boss to make mistakes. Maybe they'll actually do it. I feel like I just need more NP, because it's going to be a while before we kill this one. I don't know if we can make it. Guarded, okay. So I definitely see how I could kill this, but I don't see how I kill this right now, if that makes sense. Resisted poison, okay. It's okay. You can resist the poison. I'm surprised this Robin Hood doesn't have his third skill. His third skill is his evade, and that would be really handy right now. Alright. We have Q because we were hoping we wouldn't actually have to use him. Uriel's closer, so we're gonna go with that. 5 turns to NP. It's not looking so good. Alright. I'm not liking my odds for killing this here. I also don't think it's... You got a lot to farm for your skills. Oh, it was just the Ascensions you were up on. I was thinking I was miles behind you. Oh, you were just off on bones for the Ascension. Oh no. You're in trouble, my friend. You're in trouble. One charge. Alright. You are in a lot of trouble if you're planning on getting anything out there. This is the NP1 Q, right? He does fucking... Oh, he has 2. Okay. Please be male. It didn't work. Alright. Defense down is not terrible. If he could get it off, but it's unlikely. I think we're looking for closer to best case right now. As I have doubts about Ku's ability to... Okay. I mean, he tanked it for a full turn. That's pretty good. That was about the best I could hope for out of him, and he actually pulled it out. Good job, man. Although, I am... She would have to use 2 skills for us not to be dead this turn. That seems unlikely. So we're a ways off on this. We're a ways off on winning this fight with just 3 stars. The heck, it actually dropped a lot of shit. Alright. We are a ways out on killing that with our 3-star setup. Too bad. That's kind of weird. I was thinking that was the node for farming just bandages. Whatever. Back to our old reliable node of we want more pillows. Oh, you're behind on gems? Oh man, dude. Dude. That's not good. That's not good. You're gonna be farming for a while if you need secret gems. For berserkers. I mean, the only secret gem node that's really good is the caster one, and even then, it's not amazing. And again, it's only like once per week. Well, I guess you're lucky then. You just realized now that it's actually it changes at like 6, doesn't it? So you have like all day today. You have like all of tomorrow, right? Wow. That's nice. You're just like, huh, I need berserker gems. I wonder when those are up. Oh, speaking of berserker gems. Look what day it is. Berserker gems all day today. Perfect. Feels good, doesn't it? Like the same feeling when you're like, oh, I need like 5 of this. Oh, look, a new event. Clicks event shop. Oh, 5 of them. Okay. I'll just buy them now and be done with it. Had that happen to me a couple times where I was like low on a material and just instantly got it. Like that meant like 2 seconds later. Feels good. Yeah, I'm sure you liked it how Mordred cut my whole team to pieces. I mean, I only had like 1 archer, and none of them, I had one archer who could NP. Neither of them had the evade. The guy had a level 70, and he didn't unlock their 3rd skill. I'm pretty sure that's a rank up, or at the very least awards Saint Quartz. I'm surprised you wouldn't do it. Also true. She was like level 90. She was level 90, and it was like Hans was like 55. Uriel was 60. Yeah, we were like a bit low for that, and then we got down. Oh yeah. Oh, 100. That's good. Yeah, so like literally half. All right. Well. I mean, since there's only 3 hours left, I don't really want to waste time trying to find a comp for something. It's like 100 mana prisms, you know. That and like, you know, I could have CS'd that and probably made it, but I feel like CSing's the easy way. You can always just CS for like 5 NPs back to, or for 4 NPs back to back. As long as you survive, or just use CS res, but it seems a little bit, seems like taking the easy way out. I'm desperate I can take the easy way out on my main account, but here, not here. This is our fun account. Where we just screw around and waste our rolls. Like, I'm pretty sure that Nightingale would be like, would be way better against her than Uriel. Because Nightingale has like double damage for this event. That would be pretty handy, but... Apples. Give me those bronze apples. Delicious bronze things. Yeah, I really liked that implementation of bonus damage. It felt like its own mini game where you were progressively getting stronger. Like the flat bonus damage for events is okay when it's not huge, but when it's like Nightingales, which is plus 100%, or one of the event CEs where it's like plus 500%, I feel like it's a little bit out there. Like the Oniland event did it really well because you felt like you were progressing and you kind of needed it to kill the raid boss in a reasonable, or some of the nodes in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, it made things way cooler for the raid because you could actually like kill the raid boss in a reasonable amount of time instead of taking like 20 turns. Like if you try killing that guy without any of the buffs, he takes a long time and he's pretty dangerous. Yeah, I'm like almost a little bit disappointed they just use servant-based bonuses for this Halloween event because this is like a year down the road. Like, oh, back to here. Thought we passed this. Thought we'd all agreed we could do better than this. Oh well, it seems like either like the Japanese have a different impression of some of the mechanics, or DW doesn't actually like pay attention to which events people like and replicate them, because as I recall, Setsubun is also crazy popular, and they haven't really done another Setsubun since last year, right? Or beginning of this year. And so it's like been like 2.5 years since something like that for Japan. And like at least on NA, it's like the most popular event going. Yeah, this might not be a six. May not be a 6 turn. This is probably a 7. Oh well. Farming's nice. I like the fact you can get a lot of materials in Guildfest, and that you're like encouraged to play more than normal. Other than that, I don't think it's my favorite event. Those are the two things I like about it, is that you're not really restricted on how much you play. Because like even with say Oniland, there is a reasonable limit where you want to stop. Like you can't just play like 5 hours a day. Oh yeah. Well, I got good and bad news for you. The good news is she shows up in Salem. The bad news is she shows up in Salem. And not say like so. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. I'm assuming you're talking to me and not Shadow. I got off work like an hour late today. It sucked. I had to do something. And I was relying on someone else so that I could start. And then it wasn't done, so I had to like rip their part out of the small project I had to turn in. And I handed it in like an hour late because it's supposed to be due today. Or due for tomorrow. I guess I could get in at like 5 or something, but not that crazy. More Mordred than Lost Belt 3 is always a good thing. Because Lost Belt 3 is right around the corner. Like, we might get it next week. It's supposed to be this month, right? They might do the ticket and wait a week, but we might also just get Voting day. I'm not in the States. You voted Friday. Good job on you for voting. I don't know who you voted for, but at least you voted. It's progress. If you're voting, it means you probably paid at least a little bit of attention to politics. Or tried to inform yourself on things. Pretty sure like most people are on edge about who's getting elected in the States. It's on the news everywhere, man. Yeah, we were just talking about what we needed for the tickets, actually. I have a bit of ways to go, unfortunately, for all the materials that Nero needs. Did we know for certain? They sometimes misorder events just by they sometimes misorder some of their events and releases on NA. I noticed that because we got the Summer Nero banner in the wrong order. It was supposed to be before Scotty, and it came out after Scotty. So it was like off by a week. Same thing with the Kogetsuken event, the like murder mystery thing. They've changed a few of them. I mean, it'll be there. We'll see when it comes out. Give me some, I guess we'll just deal damage. We don't really need that, we just want crits. I need that 30%, or 27%. Do I really have to? I'd like to NP this turn, but it's also not super likely. 40% crit? What? 40% crit sounds fun, let's go for it. Rate up Abigail. I like Abigail's debuff removal and damage. He is a very good servant. I was planning on rolling for her, but I got a Hokusai now, so I'm not sure if I really need her. I mean, Abigail is like the DPS you bring to kill Berserkers, so... it's an interesting question. I mean, I like Abigail. She's got a very thematic kit, and this is going to be interesting. Give me the crits. Yeah. If you're looking for someone to kill like a single boss, like the... what's his face? Megalos or something like that. She's really good at that. Or at fighting herself, amusingly enough. She's very good. She's like the only single target foreigner. Or, wait, I think XXX is, but anyway. It's like that debuff removal means you never care about like defense ups or invulns when you have the NP. It's really good. I highly recommend Abigail. I've used her a lot. Although I haven't had my own. I've definitely brought her in a lot. I mostly just use Hokusai because I have a copy of her. She's definitely not as good at killing bosses unless she's specifically going for like those challenge quest multi-servant bosses. Scariest. Like none of the Santa servants are scary. I mean, maybe Quet? I don't know. I know if Quetz kills me, she can resurrect me. I'm not so confident about Nightingale. Yeah, it's either Salter or Nightingale. Like Quetz is gonna, probably suplex you or kick you like 50 feet in the air, but she has magic and can just heal you, so it's not as big a deal. You'll just be horribly traumatized. Florence, it's like if you don't have command seals, she might be like, I need to excise this poison. Here, eat like 30 bullets to the face. Or she'll just throw one of those medical grenades. I mean, it blows homunculi to pieces, so it's certainly... What do you think it's going to do to you? You're like squishier than Hans here. I assume she has some of her, like, forceful personality in her Santa form still, right? Like, I haven't read any of the event text because most of it's in Japanese, so I can't understand it anyway. She probably won't. I'm saying even if she does, it's not as big a deal because she can do something about it. Yeah, she's probably gonna break all your limbs and it's gonna suck. I wonder if they're getting a new Santa servant this year. Who do you think's next on their list of Santa servants? Santa Nero? Can we get a Padoru yet? One of the Yanteres. Santa Kiyohime. Perfectly safe. Kiyohime. Perfectly safe. I mean, they don't necessarily know if they're getting a new... Of course, Kiara Simp wants it. Alright. Kiara Santa. The 4-star Q. It's impossible we have Santa. I know, they probably won't do Nero Santa. It's still sad though. Still, they've added a lot of... Yeah. Wouldn't you want to release a servant for the memes? I know I would. I don't know what DW thinks though. They have killed a couple memes, right? Because they got us, what's his face? God, I can't think of his name. The friggin', Nobukatsu, right? And right before that, there was someone else who also killed a meme. Oh, yeah, Okita got buffed. So they've been axing memes, so maybe they'll be a Nero Santa with no Padoru references whatsoever. What class would Nero Santa be? They're saving her rider class for something, right? It's probably not Santa. I guess Nero can be any class she wants. Nero's a male Santa? What's next? Male summer servants? Like actual summer servants? I was like, there's no male summer servants. They're all skins. Another Santa ruler? Who do they not have? Is there a foreigner welfare? I don't think there's a foreigner welfare. Enkidu, Summer Enkidu. What's he do? Like put the blanket he's wearing over his head like Nidocris? Yeah, foreigner welfare is an interesting idea. We also may not have a... Do we have an alter ego AoE? What's missing? Or if we're doing a new servant, it's probably one of the missing spots, right? Summer Coup. Look, they're never gonna get... Are they ever gonna give us Hawaiian shirt Coup? I guess they may as well. We did have welfare ruler, right? At some point, right? That's Quetz. So it's definitely on their minds. Oh, okay, we do have AoE alter ego. Never mind then. Maybe they introduce a completely new class. Wouldn't that be loopy? It'd be weird to introduce for Christmas. But I suppose it was probably also really weird when they introduced like the foreigner class. Or the alter ego class, right? Artoria in her birthday suit. Her Fate Zero suit. Well, you know. There's fans for both of them. Although the game's not exciting enough for your brilliant idea, Kai. It'd probably be the Zero suit. They like to tease us, but not that much. It sucks having to wait for that though, right? The new Mordred costume? I love it. It's probably the more popular choice. Very true. It is probably the more popular choice. I'm gonna do something somewhat wasteful because I actually need hooves. I think one of these nodes, I think it's the rider node? I think it's the saber, might be the saber node. I'm just checking right now. I think it drops horseshoes. I'm tempted to run it because we need horseshoes and we haven't even unlocked like London, let alone Camelot farming nodes. We get... Oh yeah, Game Press doesn't usually do AP per drop for these. There is a node that drops horseshoes. I'm just trying to find it. Advanced Santa Island Exploration, I believe. But fandom doesn't give me AP per drop rates. They don't math it out for me. Let's see what our odds are. I'm gonna run one of these. It's the saber node. Actually, before I run it, what are the other materials it drops? I should just check right now. It drops The same things we're already farming. It's just a less efficient version. Alright. Then we'll do the same thing we're already doing. If this is like atrociously bad for materials drop rates, then we probably won't do it. But it would be nice if we could get like 3 or 4 horseshoes before the event ends. Because it's really awkward trying to get the 3 I need for Ushi while also needing to like ascend Lubu if there's no event for horseshoes. Oh, should probably use Han's skills first. Because, like, if I had the option to, after this event, I would legitimately be farming horseshoes so that we could actually ascend some of our servants, but... the nodes are so inefficient when you only have the first 2 nodes available, or the first 2 singularities available. Like, it's not worth doing. Like, what? Horseshoe? Meteor horseshoe. Yeah, horseshoes are 200 AP per drop in the Chaldea Gate. 190. Yeah, we'd have to actually finish Okeanos, and we'd still be at 100 AP per drop. So if we can get like one of these in 3 runs, we're better than the best we can get before Camelot. Ah, you're finally not leveling up once or more time. 1 or more times every time you clear a node. Alright. Awesome. Here you go. I think that is what Dozo is, right? Yep, that is what Dozo is. Every time she says Dozo and throws like 10 grenades at people, she's literally saying, here you go. Actually kind of changes my opinion to her. She seems much more lighthearted when she's just like, here you go, 5 grenades. Right. I was just memeing that she said, here you go, but she actually does say that when she throws the grenade brief, handful of grenades at people. That's cool. I should have been paying attention to what she said. Might have to dig into those apples. Okay. For once. Let's see. These are all centaurs, so they should have like an okay drop rate. Like, I'm hoping it's like decent. We were getting the gold mirror materials like every other run. Technically, this is part of the lottery farm. It's just not the most efficient piece. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's actually only a month and a half away now. Seems so close. Blue Berserker gems. You'll get there. Okay, none. So we've run it twice and not gotten anything. I'm gonna do one more run. If we don't get one then, it's pretty inefficient. We're not gonna go for it. Yeah. Like I don't mind the staying indoors all the time, but it like makes the year just disappear Because there's no events to mark anything by. It's like, oh yeah, I skip. It's like no Comic-Con to go to because Comic-Con's closed. No concerts to go to because they're all canceled. So you're just like indoors all the time. You're like, it may as well be March because it doesn't really matter. Like I didn't even swap the tires on my car over yet. We had like our first snow today or Sunday. I think it was Sunday or Monday. I wasn't outside, so I don't know. On Sunday, so I don't know. But I noticed it when I was driving today, and it was like, shit, it's snowing. It's like legitimately winter now. You are a very lucky person. I'm not a huge fan of snow. I guess it's not the worst thing, but it's mildly irritating to travel and have all this cold. I guess if you don't have snow though, you got like blistering heat, so you know, I guess you lose out there too, right? Thank you, Hans. 8 to 10 years ago. It snowed basically approved. That could be anywhere. It could be Cairo. It snowed in Cairo a few years ago, right? I remember that making news. That was funny. Middle of a desert, snow. It's always hot in Egypt. Okay. Let's see what we got. There's no atmosphere on the moon, so that would make sense. I would be more surprised if there was snow on the moon. Rivers and dry lands. Flash floods happen. Because it does rain in a desert, just not very often. There's ice on Mars too, right? Like there's ice on Mars near the poles. I assume. It might not be like water, it might be frozen carbon dioxide or whatever. Just frozen something. I wonder how the first planet to colonize. I wonder how the first Mars colony is going to be found, where they're going to put it. I feel like putting it near the poles for ice. If the ice is something you can actually use, is it not a terrible idea? I mean, I assume the first Mars colony is going to be underground. Okay, we spent 120 AP and not gotten any horseshoes from this node. This node sucks. Yeah. There's ice on a lot of places. Anywhere it's cold enough, there's ice, really. Right. There's like 2 hours left. I should probably try to go for whatever this is. I mean, it looks like it's just a ticket, but whatever. We'll borrow our good pal Caesar here. Yeah, for sure. The first colony is definitely underground. There's like no way you do anything else because you don't want to have like a sandstorm tear down your structure, right? That's just terrible for you. Ruins the whole run. Or ruins the whole expedition, gets a ton of people killed. I'm gonna grab the ticket. Or I'm gonna grab the ticket because I want it. Or not. They have storms on Mars. They don't have a thin atmosphere, right? They have they have an insanely thin atmosphere, but there is. I'm pretty sure there were storms. I don't want artist concepts. Yeah, there are storms on Mars. It does have an atmosphere. I'll just read Wikipedia. When the Mariner 9 probe arrived at Mars in 1971, scientists expected to see crisp new pictures of surface detail. Instead, they saw a near planet-wide dust storm, with only the giant volcano Olympus Mons showing above the haze. The storm lasted for a month. So yeah, there are dust storms, big ones on Mars. Observation since the 1950s has shown that the chances of a planet-wide dust storm in a particular Martian year are approximately 1 in 3. So, yeah. So, oh yeah, it is not as strong though. Their atmosphere is thin, so it's a lot harder for it to be like a hurricane. It'd probably just be really irritating to go outside, right? Let's see. I'm not looking up the numbers for that. They do exist. It's probably just hella irritating. Block site, gets sand everywhere, you know, the usual stuff. And Anakin knows all about sand. Alright. Berserker, yeah, this is our team. Let's go. This is our A team, our wonderful A team. Minus Uriel, because she's an archer here. Yeah, very true. Gravity. I mean, gravity isn't. The gravity exists. It's not that much smaller. Like you could function on Mars in the gravity of it. It'd be better than being in space. Because there's still a solid amount of weight pulling you down. Like. Yeah, it's considerably weak. It's considerably weaker, but it's better than being in space, right? It's a third. It's just over a third. So that is considerably lower. I actually thought it was like 80%. Shit. I thought it was like half or like 80%. I didn't realize it was actually like a third. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, that is a concern. You'd have to work out every day. For sure. Really? I thought Mars was actually comparable in size to Earth. Shit. I know it was smaller, but I didn't think it was like. Is it really that small? Shit. Alright, your gravity concern is a problem. I assumed that because it was actually a planet that that would be like size of what the how big is Pluto then? Cuz like Pluto's like I thought they were orders of magnitude different. Cuz Pluto's no longer a planet, right? Like size of Pluto. Can we get size of Mars now too? It's like 3 to... Size of Earth's moon. Wait, are you serious? Wait. Yeah, Pluto is smaller than the moon? What? What? Pluto has a smaller radius than the moon. What? Oh my god. I didn't know this. That's cool. I thought that since it was still a planet that it was bigger than the moon. It just wasn't a number I ever thought to look up, because, like, it's a planet. It's clearly bigger than the moon. No, it's actually considerably smaller. It has like 700 kilometers less radius. That's actually huge. Yeah, it would be huge. Yeah. That's because our moon is a space station, clearly. Built by Dr. Robotnik, if you must know. He replaced it when people weren't looking one day. Very, very far away. A gas giant, so there's nowhere to land. You'd have to pick one of the moons to land on. One of them is like ice with oceans under it, right? I mean, I wouldn't do Jupiter. That's a bad idea. Jupiter is massive, has a much stronger pull of gravity to Earth. You would go to one of the moons. Jupiter itself is suicide. I know that one. Yeah, it's like just under 3 times the gravity, which is basically unsurvivable for you. Just under 3 times the weight. So, you know, you go to Jupiter, where its surface would be, which is all gas, and instead of weighing like 150, you weigh 450 pounds, and you can no longer move. Mercury is very bad. Venus is also bad, as it literally rains acid. Venus is not a good... Look. You might have read some wonderful fiction about Venus, but it's pretty bad too. It rains on that planet. Not the good kind. Not the good kind of rain, though. Yeah, that toxic atmosphere is pretty bad for you. See, I don't have an Ishtar. I don't have a Rin face on this account, so she can't kill me. For talking shit about Venus. She can't hear me when I'm on this account. Shh. I closed the program even in the background. We're good. Just don't mention it when I'm on my NA account. It'll all be fine. It's okay. Even if you don't have NP5 Ishtar, her first skill is still really good. So you could just leave her at level 1. Go for the esports Ishtar. She's one of the few servants you can actually do that with. Her and Chiron are like the most popular servants to do that for. Or Karen, I guess. Wait, what does this have a 200% overcharge actually do for him? I guess we'll find out now. You're using her as a support for one skill if you have her like that, so she's not filling the same role as your other riders. We're at full health, so this probably doesn't deal that much damage, but... Oh, right. This is our Caesar, not the other Caesar. It's not going to do much damage anyway. Let's, can we get the... Yeah, we'll do this. Am I going to really click this video? I might click this video blind. What's more to say? Mid super has no emphasize. Yeah, ours is proportionally larger. Alright. Let's see some big numbers, Caesar. This is probably over. No, that was my Caesar, who doesn't have the rank up ability. As you have to be like Bond 5 max ascension for it. And mine is like level 50. Yeah, the deer guys look really wonky. Let's see how many we got. Was that 4 or 5? I think that was all of them. $251. Look at the attack stats. There we go. The difference between one with his rank ups and one without his rank ups. Oh, ridiculous amount of damage. And a lot of pillows. Yeah, yeah, actually... yeah, I gave him a charisma from the other Caesar. Do slightly more damage. My Caesar used his, my Caesar actually used his tactics on himself to make sure he actually killed that guy. I wasn't sure how much damage he would do. As the last time I NP'd with my Caesar, he did like 28k-ish. From NP. I don't think the other Caesar helps. Yeah, the difference between like 28k and 250k. I don't even know if we care about command code unlocks here. Is there anything else to buy for Gauze on this event? No, just these. Okay, we don't actually care that much about these. I don't even know what servants need these in large quantities. I know Hijikata needs them, but I don't know anyone else who needs them. Yeah, I bought the gold foes. I know, right? Gold foes are actually useful for our account though, because like we're gonna just slam them into our main DPS because they need stats. You're gonna have a dedicated team. Oh, yeah, there's one. There's needles, right? There's the needle one. Yeah, we don't have the needle essence either. We're gonna swap to farming something else, I think. Because the event's almost over. And I kind of want, well... Okay, I don't think I actually need saber pieces for this team. I don't think we need saber pieces for this team, because the only other saber we can get is shields. But maybe if we level Fergus up later, or someone else. Alright, what are we going to do with all our pillows? Materials, or I think we have enough of these? We have 12, so we can at least get one of our 3 stars somewhere, so that's fine. Most of these... I don't even know what requires these eggs. So I don't even like want them that badly. I've literally never seen a servant that requires eggs. But I've seen lots of servants require these. in arbitrary quantities. I'll just buy half of all these. We can actually afford more of these than I thought we could. Let's just buy a bunch of these eggs anyway. How many eggs does the servant even need? I don't know. 5? Probably the same as any other material, really. Yeah, it's probably a lost belt 4 or 5 servant. Which means I have to be rolling on their banner and get them. And half of them are probably not in the general pool, so I probably don't need them. Same thing with the wine and the lanterns, which are from like 1.5 servants, right? I believe these are 1.5 materials. So I'm also unlikely to see these, but I know some of these are in the general pool, because like Penthesilea requires divine wines. And so does Queen of Sheba and like those guys are. I'm just saying, I don't know what these eggs are from, so they can't be that recent in terms of servant. So there can't be that many of them, right? Like there's probably a few, but there can't be that many. As I recall, code removers actually remove command codes in JP. They like refund your command keys rather than ripping out the code, so they're not worth buying anymore. I think I learned that on like Hanako's stream when that patch came out. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to farm needles, I think, right now. Yeah, we'll do needles for the last bit. And needles are probably what? This? Needle pillow. I don't actually know what that is. Probably just bandages. Berserker is... do this then. Oh, where the materials came from? Not too bad. It's not too hard to guess. I want someone with needles, but I also want to clear this. I also want to clear this node. Decisions. I guess we can run. Her stats are kind of mediocre, but it's not like we can NP with the Astolfo, who has 111 anyway. We can actually use all her stats. We're just going to be face carding with someone who has needles. You say run, it's going to be more like a walk, isn't it, right? I think Archer is gonna do more damage than Ushi will, because she's got double damage, so she's gonna pull out some big numbers here. It's gonna be a long fight. This is gonna be a bit of a slog, as we don't have a good AoE rider right now. And like, I don't want to invest in another servant, but we're like only able to farm with these servants right now. Because like we can't bring Archer. We can't bring Archer Nightingale to an actual fight. I don't follow Akai. Actually, how hard does this chick hit? Yeah, I do have her for Christmas farming. That's why we were like, apart from needing those materials, we were focusing on the Saber node because we had Nightingale. She basically has cost advantage against everyone at this point. She's just super effective at like level 45 if she's not here. She's basically just like a regular 45 rider right now with less health. I think our goal will be to get like Nightingale's NP for the third wave. Not a terrible idea. It gives needles and I think gauze. But the point is, it gives us needles at all when we wanted to get those for either the gold foe or the command code. This is the gold node for the silver currency. Or this is the high-end node for the silver currency, which is why we're doing it. 10 more Berserker gems. Well, that's achievable. At least the blue ones are achievable. How many red and secrets do you need? Once you start needing those, you're in for a bad time. I could probably just do this node faster and then not care. Oh, you're already set on these, just those gems? Alright, alright, alright. We killed both the ads, that's not bad actually. I forgot what we were actually doing for this node, because we have farmed it a couple times. We might have just face carded it with Astolfo, because I recall using Astolfo to clear this wave in one turn. I know, right? Like, needing the pieces is such a weird feeling. You're like, shit, I actually have to farm for these because I need them. It's like the lottery doesn't give me pieces anymore. What's happening? I had the same problem. I couldn't ascend several of my servants because I needed pieces. I still can't ascend several of them because I need pieces. But at least the event's giving 3 of the pieces away. That was a somewhat long and painful event, but we can do it again. Yeah. Like, I'm literally at 0 saber pieces, but I think we're okay on saber pieces, so that's not a complete disaster. Bro, let's borrow this Astolfo. Oh, who are you hoping for New Year's? New Year's is the, are you talking about the banner or the GSSR? Because the banner is a pretty loaded banner. Got like every... Oh, you need them... Wait, you need pieces on your main account? What happened? I was like totally on board with needing them for Semiramis. Okay, I think I kind of like the assassin better, but that might be one of those things. I kind of like Cleopatra better than Semiramis, but that might be grass is greener on the other side thing. I like Cleopatra because she can do a ton of damage. Also does burn. Has like a charisma effect. Her abilities don't cast stars. She can heal herself. Like, she's considerably harder to take down than with Semiramis. But I mean, as far as 5-star assassins go, I guess it's alright. Yeah, there are 4 stars that are better than Semiramis. Kinda awkward. Where does she sit on, like, tier list? Where does Semiramis sit on tier list for 5 stars anyway? The answer is near the bottom, right above Caster of the Night list. Okay. About what I expected, because she's not very impressive. I like her how she was in the animes. They did an alright job with her. Like, I still think they needed to do more character development with a lot of the cast in Apocrypha, but, you know, she looked cute. She looked cute. She had a thing going on with Amakusa Shiro, and that was about it, but she was still cool. Oh yeah, she had this giant-ass flying fortress. That was cool. Like, the best set piece in the series. What, give you the kiss of death? Or making the air poison. That one too. I mean, in Grand Order it doesn't matter because our protagonist is immune to poison, right? That's how we hang around what's her face? Serenity? She has the same gimmick, right? Yeah. Yeah, Serenity already has that. And we don't care, because we were wandering around London, which is literally like pure poison in the air all day. And we're just like, yeah, this seems fine. Nap time? Yeah, I think it'd be nice. Take a nap in this poison gas that's killing everyone. Why not? So like, whether or not Semiramis poisons us, yeah. He has it because plot armor. He needed an excuse not to instantly die when he arrived in London. Although I believe it's supposed to be because he has like a pact with the demi-servant, right? That gave him unnatural resilience, so Mash is in theory also resilient. Yeah, it's basically just they needed an excuse to say why people weren't out in London and why, yeah, it is due to Mash, but they needed an excuse to say why he wasn't randomly dead the second he arrived in London. So they're like, it's through Mash. But the fact that Mash in game does not have a debuff cleanse or immunity to poison. Or above average resistances. Any of those would make sense. A 10-10-10 Grailed, what's his face? Wow, Paul Bunyan. Cool. I mean, people just aren't randomly immune to poison. So, there is an explanation. Whether or not it makes sense or it's been fully explained, though the current belief is that it's our connection with MASH. But I mean, we also had that excuse in Fate Stay Night, and we know for certain that Artore doesn't grant people regenerative powers, and it was Avalon, right? Oh, yeah, we're told that's what it is. We don't really know. And we're told that because they're like, oh, it must be this. But the people telling us that's the case didn't know the answer either, so... I mean, we're probably hopefully getting an explanation in the new Lost Belt, right? Because the next Lost Belt's set in Camelot. So if we're getting an explanation, I hope it's in there. Solomon. Oh, it's so far off. I keep thinking like every day. No, for like Lost Belt 6. Lost Belt 6 we might learn more about MASH. Lost Belt 3 is, yeah, Chinese. Yeah, the PV for the Lost Belt 6 is already out. So we have some idea of what's going on there. I don't know anymore, and I probably wouldn't tell anyone anymore. Because I don't know what your guys' opinion is on JP spoilers. But there is an idea that we will learn more soon. Chinese stuff. It's a bunch of Chinese stuff and Chinese servants. You can look at the PV, which is released for Japanese people, and be like, oh cool, Mordred and Spartacus turn up in it. I think we saw another couple servants, but we don't know who they are. Unless you've spoiled yourself, you don't know who that is. Yeah. Oh right, Jinkei is in the PV. You're right. Jinkei. I remember that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like nobody talks about Lost Belt 3 right now. Like I could like write an essay on. I could write a short essay on the contents of Lost Belt 5. And like a little bit about Lost Belt 4. I have no freaking clue about 3. So I'm expecting it to be very middling, because nobody's ranting on the internet about 3. They're all about 5, a little bit about 4. Like, is Lost Belt 3 gonna be good? I guess we'll find out. I wasn't really paying attention to what it was like when the previous Lost Belts released. So I'm not quite sure if knowing nothing is the expectation, but I know a lot about 5 and a decent bit about 4, because people like to rant about that shit. I know in yeah, we got a big centerpiece there. It was Sigurd. Yeah, that's fair. Sersher doesn't really show up in Lost Belt 2 until like the very end. I mean, he kind of has some presence, but not really. We need like 400 needles. Alright. Lost Belt 3, I have no clue who the focus is. See how Lost Belt 3 works out. since they kind of gave us a familiar servant in the first Lost Belt, so people would at least know what's going in. That is a person on a giant bull. Alright. Is this Europa? This is Europa, right? Like, I've legitimately never used her before. I was not expect. I saw the waifu face and was not expecting giant white bull. Oh, we're gonna get like a story prologue before the third one drops? Oh, that's cool. I'd appreciate that. It makes sense because we're not actually in the story. We're not heading into the Lost Belt next, right? We're figuring out what the fuck's going on with the people at the Wandering Isle, right? Wait, Europa's a recent servant. How did her animations look so bad? I only know that we get like a intermission between the fifth Lost Belt. I mean, we're definitely gonna have like a bunch of story nodes before we get anywhere. I wouldn't bank XP if they're gonna release the Lost Belt, because there's no way we immediately do a fight in the first battle. Like, the first node is almost certainly going to be all story. Oniland had a story, but there was lots of farming in between. Oh, I don't know. I picked hands there. That was a mistake. Where is this giant mechanical fist coming from? Yeah. Although Oniland didn't feel really connected to the story. That wasn't my impression. So Europa's clearly a Lost Belt 5 servant, right? As Lost Belt 5 is Mecca. Yeah, you had to clear that far. Yeah, you did have to clear that. Yeah, there was a story for Oniland, but it wasn't too crazy. Yeah. She's a Lost Belt 5 servant. The heck does her animations look so mediocre? Well, unless she's on right up with someone I actually want. I at least know so far that I don't really want to roll for her. Maybe she's really good mechanically, but I can't tell at this moment, because I don't have access to her NP, so I can't tell if her NP game's any good. Or if she's running a good CE, because I don't know what's good for her. She's got like a multi-turn hybrid attack buff. That's probably decent. They put that on a lot of servants recently. Or a lot of new servants. Maybe she's not an important servant. Well, that's one impression. Can she charm him? It's a mass charm. Damn, that's a good skill. I'm pretty sure these Oni are genderless. That's a genderless charm. That's cool. I'm pretty sure the swordsman Oni are genderless, right? That's cool. Alright. Mass, defense down, charm, and crit down? Yeah, that's a rock solid charm. Like, just the charm would be good, but the defense down is really nice. And of course the crit down is also good, but that's not what sticks out to me. It's the defense down. Oh, they are male? So it might be a male only charm. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out, was if it was like male only. I feel like even if your servant isn't important, you should try to give them good animations. Her animations, I think she's a 4-star. Her animations are like about the level of Alexander, like the 3-star. And his animations don't impress me that much. Okay, what's this do? Invuln and mental debuff resist? Okay. Is it on a short cooldown? Yeah, it's okay. Alright, let's see her full attack, or extra attack. Punch with Mecha is her bust, both of her busters. Okay. Yeah, okay, I guess that looked a bit better. I don't know. Her aesthetic isn't really my thing, I guess. The Mecha beam looks cool. Oh, there's the Astolfo. We were wondering if they were still on my friends list. Alright, awesome. Or maybe like this guy accepted? I don't know. I kind of assume that people don't accept my friends request on this account, because it's like, the account clearly isn't powerful. So like, why are you friending? Why would you pick it up? A flat 60% for anything. Huh. Okay. So it's like hella random. It's like Hans's effect. And none of them are guaranteed? That sucks. Flat 60%, that kind of sucks. So we might have just gotten insanely lucky there. So if it's just 60% for each of those buffs, that's kind of unfortunate. You could have a pretty bad turn, easily, where you're just like, NP. Didn't get any other thing you wanted, you basically just gave 100% overcharge with an NP. Right. Astolfo just needs like 2%. He can surely get that, right? Or like 3%, 4%. I can count, I swear. The defense are guaranteed. It's 60% for the charm. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. I mean, there's always debuff resist for all buffs and debuffs. That's not like anything new. So that sounds like a very usable NP. As long as some of the effects are guaranteed, I don't mind it. I mean, it's still better than Dion's NP, right? He definitely needs the second NP interlude. She's a 4-star, right? She's not supposed to have 5-star skills. The budget. So I don't mind her. I don't mind that too much. If she's a 5-star, she's definitely like in the lower end of 5 stars, because those are unimpressive. Basically everything except for except for the NP, which we haven't seen. But that's a good skill. Like, Dion's NP on a skill is actually pretty good. Like, I'd use that. I'm kind of curious what her NP is like, because it could be really good. Like, that third skill, or that charm skill is pretty good. Now, let's see. it's or Europa? Europa? I don't know. Life Totalos. 50% defense increase for 1 turn. Buster effectiveness for 1 turn. Have AoE damage. I guess it's okay. It's not upgraded. And she's a 5-star. Okay. So that skill's pretty good. 10 to 20% defense reduction, 20% crit reduction, cooldown 7 turns. 60% charm to all enemies, no tag restrictions. Oh, her arts and buster buff is also a 30% battery. 30% art, 30% buster, 30% NP. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good skill set, I guess. Like I said, it's really hard to gauge whether someone's good or not if you don't actually have them at least on your friends list. Because, like, I can't tell how big or if she has an NP battery attached to her kit if I don't have her on my team. Or what her, like, arts generation is, because that could have been, like, a monstrous arts buff. And, like, she could have, like, in one arts card gotten, like, half her arts bar, but I wouldn't have known, right? Still, 30% to 2 colors for 3 turns is a pretty sizable buff, especially when it's stapled to a 30% NP charge. So she can probably NP fairly reliably. I'm not yet an expert at reading NP per hit percent and card counts to know if a servant is good or bad per NP game. She didn't seem amazing for star generation though. $52. Alright. Well, we overestimated Nightingale a little bit. Crystals or bones? We know there's bones coming up in a lottery. What do you need for the lower skill level? If they're both on the same skill level, I'd probably say crystals. Simply because we know we're getting bones soonish. Go for bones then. Because you need a whole pile of bones. You just got enough bones for Ascension, right? Like, I don't remember when the lottery... there's a bones lottery, right? List of upcoming events. 1 second. Upcoming events. Come on. Yeah, they had their Merry Christmas from the Underworld. They had their Merry Christmas from the Underworld in, like, starting, like, a week and a bit from now. In theory. Because you get your downloads campaign, and then a week later we get the Santa Altera. Altera's pretty safe, she's not gonna murder you. Which does have a lottery, but it doesn't have bones in it. So it may just be like 20. Let's see. What does the shop give us for materials? No bones for a while. Yeah. Actually, the upcoming lottery gives like nothing interesting. The best material it gives is seeds. Ew. Guess that's why people are more excited for the Holy Samba night, which is in Christmas. Yeah. So Bones Lottery is coming up. That will be like actually around Christmas time in theory. Start date in JP was December 12th to 25th. What's Excalibur? Excalibur. I was tabbed out looking at the internet for a minute. Okay, I just like staying up late. Even later than I like staying up. I'm usually up pretty late. "10:34 a.m. That's nice. One of those, the morning stream for you, basically. I would end the farming run now, but I kind of want to get the 400 needles so we can get both of those things. Because it should be ending in like 30-ish minutes. The Christmas event for JP. No adult hands yet, unfortunately. He sounds a lot better and has a lot better animations. You haven't seen him. He also looks directly at you before he throws the little dynamite stick in his arts animation. I find it really amusing for some reason. I can see how he sounds like Dio. It's close. It's close. Fortunately for this node we don't actually use too many of Anderson's art cards, so can't see that or hear his voice very often. Hold up. Give me an actual Hans art card so we can do that again. Game. Okay, fine. I need more NP for Nightingale. We're 2% off. Someone smack Nightingale. Instantly gets quick down. No, this isn't what I wanted. Oh, there was an arts card there, shit. But he uses his arts first. Damn it. I need to remember which of the cards is slow animations. Or which of the buttons in Japanese is slow animations. We have a Hans art card. One of these is slow animations. This one's... No, wait. One of these is skill confirmation, isn't it? Okay, one of these is skill confirmation. That one needs to stay off. Okay, it's staying off. Good. So I think the other one is slow battle speed. So this. Let's watch. He definitely makes eye contact with the screen, and he just looks at you and then goes for it. No, I'm like trying to turn off the hyper speed. Oh, you're right. It is battle speed, but this is faster hyper speed. Yeah. Right. It's this one, right? Then this is probably server. Oh wait, no, that was skill selections. We don't need that. Point. The important part is you can see in Han's arts cards, he looks directly at the screen, makes eye contact with you, and then does his thing. Everything else was secondary to that. Stop resisting. Imagine remembering how to change battle speed. Like, who does that? It's like once you find out where it is, you're like, okay, now everything seems like it's going hella slow. Oh well. That was thoroughly unnecessary. We'll probably get this turn in one more turn. At most. Yay, more AP. 372, one more needle. Come on, Astolfo got on my friends list. I'm sure he's awash with AP, or friend points now. We've been giving him like a shit ton of them. He's literally the only person on our friends list we're using. Same with that Nightingale Archer guy. I'm pretty sure he's gotten like 1,000 friend points out of us at least. Oh, sweet. We finally got both of the NPs up for this turn. That hasn't happened yet. Mind you, this one probably won't kill. Oh, that's a good start. Right, because like one of the 3 skills is Servant Death. The other one's skill. What's the third? What's the third function you can change on in the battle menu? Death animation, skill confirmation, something else. Oh well. Can't be that important. Maybe it's like looping background music. No, that's it's definitely not that, but still. One of these. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Stoffel landed his stun. I was gonna comment that one of these times the Stoffel will actually land his skill. And we won't have to watch a full turn of Edison's animations. Just when we got it. Perfect. Is this our 400? Is this our 400? It is our 400 needles. It's time to check out what's going on. Alright, what do we got? Give me the limited materials. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure we'll figure out who to put them on at some point in the future. We got like nothing in terms of pillows out of all that. That's surprising. Not surprising it wasn't the focus of the node, but still. I may as well buy these now because I'm probably not going to get any more farming done after this. Would kind of like more caster materials. Oh well. That node is a little bit tedious to farm. And very, very inefficient at what +1 drop rate. Why you're really supposed to be farming the lottery in the lottery, right? Time to open some boxes. Thankfully it's not that many boxes. In fact, I think we might cap out shortly, because this stops at 10, right? And we're on box 8, so... we might actually be done this event, except for materials, which I'll definitely stop for, because if we're not getting lottery materials, it's almost not worth farming the event. Because we don't desperately need any of the things in the event. Other than maybe pieces. And like, I have the pieces I need for Hans, so I think we're okay for a bit. There's that box. Yes. Wonderful box opening streams, everyone's favorite, right? So, when you're opening lottery boxes, do you prefer to... it's like, what exciting thing is going to talk about here? When you're opening lottery boxes, do you prefer to click the same spot every time? Or do you like to move around? Like, maybe you want to go to the right breast instead of the left breast? You know? Do they need an even amount of attention, even though it's just a lottery button you're waiting to click? It's not like we're like doing rolls where we may not get anything and there's a mystery. It's just like, I know I'm going to get everything in the box. You get bored and do patterns when you're opening lottery boxes? You're listening to literally nothing because I'm just thinking, what can I say? I don't know. I'm opening lottery boxes. I could rant about like what I'm watching for anime, but I'm not actually watching too much that's new. I'm like starting my rewatch of Madoka because I haven't seen Madoka in so long that I literally forgot like half of the scenes in it. Like I watched the first 4-ish episodes and I couldn't tell if things were supposed to be happening in like the second or third one. Oh, we can talk about how boring Nightingale's voice is, like Danmachi. I remember watching the first season of Danmachi, and I actually liked it. And then the second season came out like a year later. And for whatever reason, I watched like the first episode and was like, yeah, okay, I don't need to watch this anymore. And like I think from most people I've heard, they either like really, really, really like Danmachi or they're like completely over it after the first season. It's kind of weird. So you're both in the Danmachi is good camp? Alright, alright. I might give it another go. I know people are liking it. I think I like just forgot the plot, and the fact that it had things going on that weren't like super generic when the second season started kind of lost me. That's what I feel actually happened. We definitely want at least 5 feathers. Our present box is nowhere near full. We got the foes. So the new season of Danmachi is good. Cool. I'm still waiting for like I don't know. This season is doesn't seem like a winner for me. I'm saying doesn't seem like because I've definitely ate those words before where it's like, oh shit, this random show it turns out I really liked was amazing in this season. I thought was really boring otherwise. But I'm like mostly waiting for next season for something exciting to happen. Most of the series I'm waiting for are next seasons. You're out of materials. I guess we're gonna go... Don't want to go for more needles. How many gold statues do we have? We bought out the gold statues. Gintama. I bet this translates for someone or something that translates into French. That's yeah, that's fair, that's fair. Like, you're probably watching subs. That's probably it. I hadn't realized that would probably be a pain for other people. Like, there are so many people who do, or like, not as many these days, but there used to be so many people who did English subs for things. Like, you could go and find like 5 different subs of any show when you were looking for it. Probably a bit of a pain to find if you want to read in your native language. At least there's always English, though. At least there's usually English, right? I don't know any other languages enough to read them, so if they're not in English, I just have a bad time. I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest. I'm working on Japanese, but it's still really hard to read anything. I mean, Japanese is one of the harder languages to learn. So many symbols, so many things that mean different things. Like, I know this first kanji in previous. I know this is previous, previously cleared. I know the first one is like previous or last, as in referring to like the one before this one. But I don't know what any of these other things mean or have a clue of any of them, because they could be literally anything. Like the weird thing about reading Japanese is like all these symbols, they don't tell you what they mean unless you know what they mean, and they could mean multiple things. They could be pronounced in several ways. Bit of a hassle. I think we're gonna go with more gold currency. We're just gonna finish off our AP here. I'll probably be on playing Grand Order tomorrow, but I know we're not gonna have this event. But we should do this real quick. Finish off what we're doing for the event. Then I think I'm gonna do some unlimited blade work because I just want to finish that. I gotta keep cracking away at it or I'll never get it done. Back to the double Nightingale strats. These are always fun. At least Nightingale's new and exciting to me, so all her animations are still entertaining. I do kind of get bored with some servants after seeing their animations like 1,000 times. Imagine you guys get the same way. It's probably why people want to like have, you occasionally see that request for people to like get animation skips. Because they're like, I've seen this NP like 3,000 times. This is my like Bond 10 servant, there's not really going to be anything more exciting to see it. I mean, you've used them like 1,000 times. So if you're running a long time, you just want to skip it sometimes. I can understand that. I'm not entirely there on most servants. In fact, I actually kind of like some of the people who have short NP animations. Like I actually like watching Uriel's animation. It's just so short and simple. Like it's not complicated. Some of the NPs, they just have this wonderful simplicity to their animations that makes you want to watch it again. You're like, oh, they got this done, and it's perfectly communicated. It looks nice and clean, and it's like 2 seconds long. And then there's obviously like servants I really like. The ones who I just want to watch because I really like the servant. Alright, now we can kill these guys. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that reading French or English. Yeah, it's probably a lot less difficult to read something in your native language, I imagine. Like less of a headache trying to translate things back and forth. Or are you one of those people who it's like a switch? The minute you start speaking English, the minute you start getting into English, your whole brain seems to function in English. Because I've spoken to some people, and apparently that's how their mind works. Like the minute you talk English at them, they speak English. The minute you talk Spanish, they speak Spanish, and they don't really find it difficult to swap between the two. And I know other people who are, it's like, they have to make a conscious effort to remember what everything is, even when they've been speaking both languages for years. I'm really jealous of the people who can just do both, no problem. But I think the people we're all jealous of for real. Well, I mean, I only speak English, and I suck at speaking English, so I can't really expect anyone to have better skills than me. Like, why am I learning a second language? Just so I can speak poorly in both languages. One was not enough. I need to prove that I am incompetent in multiple languages. Fun times. That's it. The real people we're jealous of are the people who at least claim, I don't know if they actually can, but to like actually learn a whole language via just watching TV or anime or whatever. Like, can you really learn that? I mean, the people who say they can do that obviously speak the language, but it's like, did you really learn it that way? Like, can you really actually learn Japanese just from what's it? Well, who is it that I asked that? Last heard that from. That was Kiara from Hololive, right? I believe she said she learned both English and Japanese from watching anime, and I'm like, you learned two languages at the same time by just watching the anime? Like, the fuck? You had the subtitles on in English, and you listened to the Japanese voice track, and you actually managed to learn the language that way? Because I think she speaks German natively. Like, yeah, obviously it's very hard. It's like, but how do you manage to do that? I don't know. I can't. I'm not that good with language, but you know, you gotta be jealous of those people because they don't really have to study. Feels like they don't have to study. I imagine they might put a lot more mental effort into the dialogue, or like analyzing the dialogue of a story or something. Than it sounds like, because like the impression they always give off is that they're just like, yeah, I don't know. I got bored, watched a couple TV series, and knew the language, and then was just like, I've learned enough languages for now. But I imagine they're like putting a lot of effort into, like word by word analyzing stuff or whatever. I don't actually know how it works. I just know that I'm very jealous of them. Because if I could learn it, if I could have learned Japanese by watching anime, I would already know Japanese. And let me tell you, in my experience, I didn't learn jack shit from watching anime. May as well have just watched the whole thing in English because my mind just like replaces all the Japanese with all the subtitle Japanese with the English equivalent. Like when I play back an episode of an anime in my head, I hear the Japanese voice actor's voice speaking English. I need more cards from you, other Archer. Wait, what is this? What is this X ability? I thought it was I thought it was buff block, but it's not buff block. Whatever. Yeah, I'm still jealous. Oh well. I will learn languages the hard way. At least then I can sympathize with all the people who struggle with stuff in school, because I didn't have much trouble. I didn't have much trouble learning anything in school, but I guess language is officially my weak suit. Oh well. You know. I didn't sympathize with all the people who sucked at math or English or whatever else we were studying. So now it's my turn to suck at something. At least my future isn't on the line because it probably doesn't really matter if I know Japanese or not. It's kind of just like a nice bonus that I want to do on the side. One that I should really try to put more effort into, but here I am playing video games instead. It's really hard to force myself to sit down and study. Something that I don't really have any pressure to actually do. Alright. Well, I know there are some materials in the shop left over, and there is still technically like a third of a box. I think I'm going to call it here just because I wasn't planning on actually finishing it. I just wanted like a couple materials from the shop. How did I get to this point? We're playing this as our extra side account. Oops. Misclick. Playing this extra side account. We're not supposed to be doing all the stuff on it. Delicious pages, thank you. Oh, well, we actually finished the lottery. Good. That was perfect timing. Oh, that was perfect timing. We finished the lottery just in time to be done farming. Anything I want for gold? No, not really. Not really anything I want for the gold. I don't really want those. Because berserkers, how many gold berserkers do you need? Right? We got 7 eggs now. 7 eggs, and we need something to spend here. Bandages, we'll get an even split of these, because we don't really want them either. Oh. One of them costs more. My bad. I was not paying attention. Alright. Buy a berserker thing. Done. We don't. I don't think we need code removers, so I'm just gonna buy money. Money is always good in this game. Yeah, I'm not complaining about how difficult languages are. It's like I'm trying to pick up a language knowing it's difficult. The fact that it isn't crazy easy isn't like the most upsetting thing in the world. Some people gotta be talented in some things, right? Alright. Done this silly event. It was a fun event. I think they did a good job. I'm looking forward to actually reading the plot of it when it comes out on our server. Get started on that soon. I think since the event's ending, we'll probably start on speeding our way through Septim next stream. That is for another time. I'll be back in a few minutes with Unlimited Blayworks. Wanna head out? It's been fun hanging out. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, restart the stream, change games, all that good stuff. I'll be back in 5.